Book.
What book?
Or It's So Tempting book.
Down there.
So it's this one. And are we got a delay?
I don't think so.
Okay. Are we here?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, it's So Live with Steph and Eileen.
Woo!
Hello.
And our studio audience.
Of course.
Miss Megan and Miss Darla here tonight. So
we may have to pay people to stay with us, but that's okay.
sometimes we just have to pay people to be friends.
Oh well, however it comes across.
Exactly. So
We're
how's
so good.
everybody doing this fine night? It's kind of like nice outside.
It's gorgeous outside. It's been so much fun. This is the week to have a dog, I'm just telling you.
Because we can go outside.
We go outside. There's no rain. There's no snow. There's no other four-letter words. It's just nice inside.
That's not true. There's poop.
Yes, but that's being placed there not by God. more like instead of God, it's dog.
God, dog. Okay. All right.
It's been a fun week.
I hope everybody's having a fabulous Thursday. I almost thought it was Thursday or Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is, you guys.
I would not be here if it were Tuesday.
I don't know.
But we had a great time at the Reliance State Bank.
Oh, was that
at
was
their party last night? Mm-hmm. That was fun.
So if you guys don't know, Reliance is our local bank, and every
one of
year,
many.
one of like 100.
Yeah, we got a lot of them.
And every year they have a customer appreciation dinner. Mm-hmm. And last night was that. How was it? Because I missed it.
It was so nice. They always have music. They have hamburgers and watermelon and
like
potato chips and cookies. Yeah.
That.
Well, they do the south side of Pennsylvania, which is right near where the bank is. So, and it's always a good time, and it's nice because it's getting shaded because of where the sun is, and it's from 5 to 7. And people
Isn't
just
that
come
when
out.
We did our face painting last year?
Yeah.
Or the year before?
The year that Tori went to, because Cooper went to Iowa State and Tori went to Wartburg, and we got our face painted their color.
Oh, that's right. I remember
so
that. That was a good time.
We were competing, Iowa State versus
Wartburg.
So
I'm not even going to bother to log into Iowa Falls because my phone can't for some reason. Facebook changed a bunch of stuff with like the whole business side of it. And, like, my phone is like...
They don't like you.
Oh, I don't know what their problem is anymore. So, I'm just going to let Megan look at everything. She's over there. She's
your boss says hello, by the way.
Aww.
Oh.
Sebastian says hello.
Which boss? I've got so many.
Which boss? Sebastian.
Sebastian boss.
The boss.
The boss. The boss. The boss.
The boss.
Not Bruce Springsteen. Although, hey...
If he says hi back.
Call me. All right, you guys. So we have not a whole heck of a lot tonight, but we haven't done favorite things in a long time, I feel.
Oh, I think we've just gotten ourselves so distracted.
Right, and so we've got a lot of favorite things. If you guys saw me a couple days ago doing live, we have some new stuff that we've been waiting on that has come in.
Finally.
Also, Miss Jean Bonjour, you, ma'am, you came in and you brought some pads for us or tampons for us, and you get a free fat quarter. So either go to Iowa Falls and grab one, or come back here and grab one. So we'll get you taken care of there. So Miss Jean Bonjour, if you are watching, maybe.
Let's see. I will check and see.
I've got to look at yours. Miss Shelley's on.
I don't see Jean yet, but there's a chance that she'll show up. So with any luck, so yeah. Do you want to show them the box since you're mentioning it?
That's what I'm grabbing.
You're so smart.
I know. So you guys, this is, and of course the date's on the box. Ignore, but this is our donation drive, our pads and tampons donation drive that Miss Megan is putting on through mid-September. Middle of September. So you guys remember, this is super important because there are folks out there, there's women out there that don't have easy access to this. Either they can't afford it or, for whatever reason. And so this drive, Megan was able to get 11,000 products last year. So we're hoping to beat that because why not?
Because it's always fun to
because
win.
we can. And so we're hoping to beat that. So we have this box, which we're filling up with some awesome goodies, and we got those here from Iowa Falls. This bag, I won't open it up, but it contains all kinds of pads and tampons. So
Iowa Falls is doing an awesome job.
maybe we should have a store-to-store competition.
Starting now or starting?
Yeah.
I mean, we sort of are already behind on that one.
Well, I think Story City needs to kind
Step it up.
of step it up. What do you think? Yeah.
Can certainly try.
So you guys, please come in and bring in your pads and tampons.
Especially on Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, well, the guys are here. Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
That would be much appreciated. So my hat, it's a hat day, and it keeps on
Okay.
getting in my eye. So I'm going to be doing this all night. So I apologize in advance.
Wear it backwards.
There we go. Problem solved.
There you go.
All right, but I love what it says. What's it say?
It's wine o'clock somewhere.
9 o'clock somewhere. There we go. We're just going to wear that sucker backwards. All right, you guys. Oh gosh, that's so much better.
You know, 10 years.
Yeah, fix the hair,
Sometimes we know things.
There we go. All right, so it's wine o'clock somewhere, and yes,
Aw.
it is wine o'clock somewhere.
Lori Johnson, her best sewing accessory is a friend. I love that.
Right, Twix, you're so right. You are so right. All right, so pads and tampons, bring them in so that way we can support our local women. And yes, because we were talking about that all day today. We won't go into that. So, what else we got? Do you want to show them what came in?
Well, you guys know how much we love Quilter Select, right? Well, it just so happens that I'm wearing a shirt that's appropriate.
Yes. Okay. So here's the other reason why I love Quilter Select. So RNK specifically, they took away products. Okay, they discontinued products, but then they listened to the shop owners and their customers essentially, and they brought them back. That is a good company.
I still have a vote out there for a 28-inch rotary, or 28 millimeter rotary.
28-inch rotary.
28-inch! Woo! I am going to go, wah, and I'm done. So, this is their special edition mat. So,
Hang on.
we got all kinds of fun stickers on here that go with other things. But, there you go, guys. This is their special edition 14 by 14 inch Hope mat. It is in honor of Cancer Month, which is October, but I'm sure it's going to be around for a little bit longer than that.
Oh, I would assume so. And I had the girls look up this Dr. Susan Love Foundation because it's different than the Susan G. Komen one, and I really was not sure of what it was all about. And what did we find out? What did we find out? She's been, since the 80s, doing breast cancer research.
Yes.
That 82% of every dollar that gets donated to them goes towards their program and research.
That's awesome.
That's a huge
That's very
chunk.
good. Because, I mean, you have to have somebody making it to keep it going.
Exactly.
So, but, I mean, that's amazing.
Exactly. So, and I'm assuming that the proceeds, whatever profit gets made off of these, goes towards that. I don't really know because that's on Quilter Select side of it, I'm sure.
Right.
So that's, and it's pink.
Well, and
I
this
love
is
pink.
$23.99.
That's not
Okay.
bad.
And just like all their other mats, it may be the same color on both sides, but it is two-sided.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like getting two mats for one.
And they're amazingly thick.
Yeah. So it's very nice. So,
And it's
and
pink.
I wore this without even knowing. There you go.
And you notice how her pin pal matches too?
I am not a pink person, and yet I seem to like pink more than I think I do.
You actually look really good in pink.
I also play with pink golf balls. If I'm going to play golf, I play with pink.
Because you can see them.
Because I can find them.
That's right.
Now, the other things that came in, you guys may or may not believe it, but it's the 5 by 5 inch. We have been waiting for this one for so long since they canceled it, and it was like,
Why
how
did you
dare
cancel
they?
that?
Now it's back. So we have some of those, and
The 12 by
the 12 by 12. So we are getting, and these are great for finishing, trimming your whatever your blocks. So if you like your 12-inch size block, or you're doing
Although-
something with your charm pack, both of these are great for that.
The charm pack, yes. I'm going to burst a bubble on this one, though. Normally, your unfinished 12 by 12 is not 12 by 12. It would
It's
make
12 and a half by 12 and a half.
Right.
This is for your everyday 11.5 by 11.5 block.
I mean, I just got to thinking about that. I'm like,
yeah, it makes it better when she doesn't think.
The 12.5 is actually better, which we do have in stock. And we are going to be having a huge Quilter Select order going out. So, which means we'll have...
So these came in without our order.
These have been on back order since March.
I knew it had been a while, just
Since
as long
March.
as the mats had been.
So, yes. And, well, those mats were on back order since January.
Last year.
Yes.
I mean, that was a year.
Yes. A year plus.
Yeah.
So, super crazy.
About as much fun as the iron.
Oh, Lord. I had to cancel that because it
I
was
know.
like 2 years back
But then she finally got it when she special ordered it through them.
Oh, that's what I told her to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, quit waiting. Special order through
it's
them.
crazy.
And, yeah. All right, you guys.
Someone sold something. Michelle, I'm not sure what we
I
want.
think she wants one of the pink mats.
The pink mats.
Ooh.
Okay.
Did you
we'll set
link
it
it?
aside
Did you-
for you, but we didn't.
Megan, did you link that on our website
I did. I sent the link in the
to the
chat.
product?
Or the link in the chat goes to the Dr. Susan Love research.
Okay, can you look up that product and put that link in there?
Yes, I
And
can.
then Michelle, so Megan is going to put the link to the product from our website, so you can just go ahead and order it there. We'll get you taken care of.
We'll save this one for you, though.
All right.
So
Some awesome stuff. Speaking of Quilter Select, so I am cutting out our block of the month stuff because this Saturday at Iowa Falls, we are going to be doing the block of the month. I will be leading it. So we've got 4 spots left. If you guys want to sign up, you can either sign up for here, but we have the first month last weekend, or you can go to the Iowa Falls one and you will see me, and I hopefully will teach you something.
well, and the thing is, even if you want to be here in the future, but you want to go to Iowa Falls
Because you missed this one.
because you missed this one,
We're
we
flexible like
we
that.
can do that.
So Pat
It's
brought.
not actually on your website.
It should be. We'll figure it out. Okay, so
We'll make it there.
Pat brought in her finished block. So this is the finished block, you guys. Is that not just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen?
I love it.
And now I'm all intimidated because I have to make mine look just as good,
Or steal it hurts.
which I just might. But so just before the show, I was cutting out like all my pieces because that's what you do. You cut out all your pieces and then you sew them. And you know, there's a lot of it's like saying, okay, cut 8 to 2 inch by 5 or 2 5/8 inch. You know, those weird dimensions. Like who cuts that? But I'm like, I love my Quilter Select rulers. I can read them usually very well. But today my brain is just not.
Well, and when they have goofy numbers,
So what I did is I took the arrow stickers that I used for my stripology ruler, these guys, and you can use them anywhere you want.
in multiple colors.
Yeah.
Now these are actually, there's 3 different colors. This is red, yellow, and purple here. And that one is blue and
Green and orange.
green and orange. So you have the whole,
So I just, and
Rainbow.
it's not hitting exactly spot on, but it just lets my eyes quickly go to where they need to be. So I can just whack these guys out. So I've got it on there, and then just because, again, I'm tired and I just don't want to have to think, I did it on that. And then I did it on this guy. And then I did it on this guy.
in other words, she was trying to use the stickers rather than doing her job of actually cutting it out.
Because why? I mean, like, that's what these tools, this right now is my favorite little notion.
They are very
Right?
cute.
Why, what, you know, you have this stuff to make your life easier, so use it.
Exactly.
So if you guys have, like, you know, the question says, what's your favorite gadget? Like, what is it? What makes it easier for you? Like, why do you like it? I guess that's what I'm trying to ask. What is it about that you like it?
Well, this is one of my favorites. I am always wearing
which
it
I'm
because I
looking to
keep
order
stealing
more.
it and taking it home.
And it looks good on you.
And if I wear pink, it works really well. But we do have our red one over there. But they're just very handy, especially when we do a lot of the cutting. As you can see right now, I have a ton of pins on there. Well, that's because I was finishing up so many bolts that I was keeping all the pins. But then you put them back in there and then you start over again. It's very handy. But I do have another one for people who don't like pins. I don't know what you're looking for.
The little snips we have in there. You know.
Oh.
But don't know.
Well, I was going to say I was using mine at home. I could have brought them, but... Okay, so we don't always plan things ahead.
Pardon me. Excuse me. Okay, so the other cool thing about these,
They're pretty strong.
I can't really tell if it's black on black.
Well, you want me to put them on this one?
No, it's okay.
But we do recommend not putting both the scissors
and the pins,
on the same one.
So you guys, if you are long arm quilters and you're, doing your long arm and you need to so you can put your little scissors here, we absolutely recommend that you don't run with them on. That would be dangerous and dumb.
That's true. But you can tell they work both left-handed and right-handed. Because right-handed people put them on the left side.
I can't do two at a time.
Yeah, well, then you have to have one on each side. And then
So anyways, super strong, as you can see. And if you do embroidery work, it's great. Put your little scissors there and just grab them. And
oh, yeah.
So lots of different uses for this. And this is actually from a local quilt shop here in Iowa that does these, which I probably am going to go directly to her to get them because where I've been able to find them before, because I was trying to do that big order, I can't. So Stitch and Tree,
yeah,
I think is where. And where are they from? I forget.
It's closer to Omaha.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe somebody can look that up for us and tell us exactly.
Do
what
not
it is.
wear these if you have a pacemaker.
Stitching Tree
True.
is in Woodbine.
Woodbine, that's it.
It actually says that on the package.
Oh.
Not to wear if you have a pacemaker.
Oh.
So.
I thought you said it says Woodbine.
Well, it says that too. Oh gosh.
It's gotta be a long night.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
What time? It's only 6:45.
But if you like other fun things, this is also a Quilter Select. And it is just a pin tin.
Pin tin.
So, if you do a lot of those traveling, you do them, Darla. Retreats, that's the word. Yes, like I said, long night. This is a great way to take your pins because then you flip it open and it is magnetic. So they're all going to hang out in there. So you can open it up and you've got your magnet going and you're all good to go. But it also is contained so that you don't have to worry about pins flying all over the place when you're...
Hey, it works. See? It's very handy.
And it has a little window so you can keep an eye on them in case they decide to multiply.
Hey, if they multiply, that's awesome.
That's always a good thing for pins to do.
And it's sleek and beautiful.
It's very nice. So, and how much is that one?
It is $9.99. And you get 100 glass pins in here, glass head pins.
So you get 100 pins and the container for $10.
$9.99.
That's awesome. For under $10.
For under $10. For under $10. Such a deal.
Wait, there's more.
There's more. So you guys have talked, or you've heard us talk about how I don't do apparel, and I, Arena, if you're watching, I'm so sorry I haven't gotten you my measurements for that dress that you're going to help me with. Yeah, that may not happen. I don't know. Anyways, there's so much going on. But I was over there and I was looking at some stuff that we have, and I forget that we have this stuff. This is a 5-in-1 sliding gauge for hems and all kinds of stuff, and it's actually really cool. I think there's a ton of things you can use it for, but it's for Clover, and it's kind of your basic, you've seen these probably before, but it's just really kind of a cool something that I would like to learn how to use.
It's a nice little gadget. I've used it.
Have you?
I'm not sure I used it right, but I used it.
I feel like it's like kind of a compass, because, look at this. There's like a swivel thing.
Oh, I didn't use it like that.
I don't know.
See, there's always something new to learn, guys.
It says on the back, it actually says, read instructions before use.
The first time I learned how to quilt, my grandma made me use one of those when I was doing seams and hems and stuff to make sure it was even.
So this was what Pat made Megan use to check her seam allowance, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's a fabulous idea.
So it's useful for more than just clothing, and it can also be used for quilting.
I bet you can use this for woodworking too. Actually, I think there is a tool in woodworking that's actually the same, but it's made from metal.
There you go.
And pieces. So
we've got that. We also have
Where's that thing?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is a Creative Grids. When we've heard us talk about all of the Quilter Select, well, this is Creative Grids. And they have a 10-degree wedge. They have all kinds of wedges.
Templates.
Different degrees all the way. I mean, they've got their 60s, they've got their 45s, they've got 15s, they got all crazy.
Can I plug something in real quick?
Of course.
Okay.
Where do you need to plug in?
No. Like plug in as in like tell them something. Okay. So you guys know that at Iowa Falls that we do the quilt club every second Saturday. So you want to go to this next quilt club, and I'm not kidding you, because Creative Grids, Miss Denise there, she is the Creative Grids queen. This next quilt club, which is, can somebody look that date up for me, please? Is it the 10th? Something. September, the second Saturday.
10th.
Okay. September 10th at 2 o'clock. Be there, because she is literally, actually 1 o'clock. We're starting early. We're going to go a little bit later. She is going to do a Creative Grids school. Okay. So give them a holler. Let them know you're going to be there. It is 641-648-2379, I think is their phone number. Let them know you're going to be there. Yes, please.
641-648-2379.
641-648-2379, because she's going to go over all these different Creative Grid templates.
She may have to make it a 2-part class.
Everything, yes. And we've been talking about doing it for a while. And if you have a Creative Grids ruler that you happen to pick up at a show or at a shop and you're like clueless on how to use it, give them a call. Let them know you're going to be there. Let them know what template it is, because she's taking and writing it down so she can bring that to the thing. So, yes.
Okay.
You want to be there.
We may have to delay Marty and me for a week if that's something.
I'm thinking that you probably want to go there. Like, if we can get somebody to cover here, I think I'm going to be out of town.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be a bad idea. I think you would enjoy it.
So we may delay our Marty and me, Darla.
Okay, we should talk about that too.
Yeah, we'll get there too. But okay, so this is Quilter's Creative Grids. Yeah, long day. I haven't even gotten into that. So they always give you fun ideas, even on the back. So this one, if you do them all constantly in a circle, you will end up with a circle. This one is a Bargello quilt.
It's so cool.
And
do we have the pattern? Oh, here.
Yes, I do. But you don't have to use this to do a Bargello. You can do it with anything. And this quilt pattern is another idea on what you can do with that 10 degree pattern. But if you want to do something like this, this was all done with
grunge.
Yeah, this was the grunge that we had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, who knows what we would have ended up with? I don't know. But
this is that red that you dyed to use. You love
that red.
Yes,
I love this red. It was very fun. But there are different ways you can do the centers. Instead of having a solid one, they actually have in this one, they have a little additional piece, so you can do this type of center, where it is a combination. So you do a whole bunch of little pieces and do that as a center.
Miss Darla.
I used that ruler and made all the Christmas tree skirts for Rhyme Gardens last year.
Oh!
So, Christmas tree skirts, obviously a good option. Then you don't have to make the center.
Yes.
Always a good option. Then you usually just have one side where you're hemming the side, but not to each other. You have a slit so you can go around. But you can do this. You can just go through and randomly cut pieces of fabric and sew them all together and have a completely scrappy one.
That would be cute.
You can do this this is going to end up, how wide did this end up?
Oh, about yay wide.
And I think it's like 4 feet. Let's see here. Okay, so if we start at 72, we go down to 27. That's not helpful. Yeah, we're right around 4 feet. So if you have a 4-foot table, you could totally make a tablecloth out of this. If you want to do
So
the
it's not
binding
quite 4
on
feet.
this, definitely do bias.
Yes.
This is not one that you want to just do cutting straight. It's going to be bias binding because you're going to need that curve.
And they actually talk about that right here on this one. They talk about cutting that bias binding.
And I'm sure they do it with this too. The thing that's interesting about this one is if you cut one, you cut two. You get two. So here are all my pieces for the second one. And I labeled them. This was set 6, both A and B pieces.
Because remember, it's a Bargello, so you kind of have to keep track of what's going where.
This is 5. I've got 4, 3, 2. So you have to have a different one for each one because otherwise it's not going to get that twist. But just to give you an example, this is what all my pieces are like. So they're already cut and ready to...
How cute would this be if you did it like candy corn?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like a cute little Halloween one.
Yeah.
That would be, and like using
well, we actually
this
had
fabric.
We had someone in the other day who was making a candy corn skirt.
That would be very cute. You could turn that into a little kid skirt too. I bet
Sure.
you.
Just do the center and then, yeah.
All kinds of things.
Make a big long zipper on the side. Because I'm so good at zippers.
She is. She's awesome at zippers. I, however, suck at zippers, so we'll just leave that there.
That's not our favorite thing. Anyway.
Although Megan has had a fabulous
better.
idea for zippers. She
Oh,
found
yeah?
this pattern for Monster, like it's a
Zipper monster. It's like a pencil pouch that you make completely out of zippers.
Oh.
it looks really
I've seen something like that.
So we can use up all our zippers to do that.
So, not difficult. This is, if you're afraid of Bargellos, this is basically all it is. It's cutting all your pieces and then sewing them together in a different order.
Although Bargello is the quilter swear word.
It is. But that's not always going to happen.
Oh,
This is the beginner's Bargello.
Oh, see, they don't like that either because it went dark when we talked about that.
The swear word?
Yeah.
So anyway, but this is a beginner's Bargello. So if you want an easy way to start, I made this and it's probably been 1.5 years, right? So very early in my quilting career, which has only been like 3.5 years anyway. So that is,
can make that.
yeah, it is not difficult. If you need some quick tips, we've got them here.
Bless you. She made this fabulous thing, and she used some best press that she's actually allergic to, which is why we keep the unscented here usually. And why did you?
Well, it's not that it's just the blue one.
That's what I mean. It's like.
Well, remember when I brought it back and I
Yeah.
gave it back to you to have? I said you can have this because I can't use
did
it.
we fill it up with something?
Well, we filled it up and we used them here. Well, I forgot I had filled my mister with it
Oh.
at home.
Okay.
And I started using that and went, oh, that's why I'm having problems. But it took me, of course, until I was mostly done with it. Sort of like slow brain.
So you guys, speaking of different classes, Marty, Michelle, all that kind of stuff, we are doing Marty and Me, which is our Marty Michelle class that we have once a month. And every month we would do a project. You would learn that specific template that Marty Michelle does. I was trying to look to see what we've got around. We don't have anything around. But
we do. We have the kite one over there. And
right,
we
but it's
have-
hanging up. And it's all the way over there. So- she's like, that's okay.
Then we'll do the kite one that I have here.
Anyways, so we've done it for 2 years, and we only stopped at number 12, so 12 months worth. It continues on for 36 months, and so we asked the gals, do you guys want to continue on? And so we are. So this is one of the kite projects, so using the kite template, and it's just gorgeous. And all of her projects, her templates, the patterns, there's usually like 4 to 5 different patterns in there. And so this was one that Steph just did. She's trying to find something else, and she just gave me a frowny face, which means she can't find
Everything
it.
I have up is the kites.
So, anyways, we are continuing on, and Zigzag Runner, Zigzag whatever, is the next one. And that is what Steph has.
And this is the start of it. This is not the finished version.
No. So, look how gorgeous that is. She is using our African-inspired prints, and along with the Spectrum line, and then I think this is called Blocks. So this is Wyndham, and then I forget who this is from. But anyways, it is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
And
this-
one?
No. Oh, the Dresden, yeah.
The Dresden is,
But it's
yeah.
pinned up.
So this is actually using the flying geese.
Yes.
And so we'll show another way to use it also in the class. But that won't be here. So you have to come to class if you want to see
Yes. And we may, so it's set for September, but we may push it out to October. We'll
that.
figure
We may
that
have
out.
to change. Well, maybe it's something where you're going to want to change the day of the month.
So instead of the second Saturday of the month, it's the third Saturday of the month. We'll
Well,
figure
we can't do that
Why not?
because that's
Emma.
when Emma.
Oh.
Well, we could do it in the afternoon.
No, it's in the afternoon. Emma's in the morning, so we could do that.
We could make it happen.
Yeah. So if you
We'll
guys
see.
want to sign up, it is out on our website, so it's attempting.com. And then you go out to our classes, and then you'll see Marty and Me 2.0.
Yes.
And this just came in. So we're like actually a few months ahead as far as getting our stuff in
It's
from her.
Getting ideas for down the road.
This just came in, and when we went and hung out with Marty and Miss Lori, if you're on the right Twix, you'll remember this. This pattern was the one that I wanted to do so bad, and I've never got a chance to do, so I'm super excited. It's called Storm at Sea, and it's using her template set B and her diamond set as well, and it's just beautiful. It's the coolest thing. There's so much movement in there. It's just beautiful, and I actually love this one. How they're using the blues, all those different color blues. And then they've got this kind of pop of red right in there. It almost looks like a heart.
I think it's supposed to be a heart.
It's beautiful. I just love it. So in the instructions, you get all these patterns.
Yeah.
So it is such a deal. It's $70 or $75 to sign up for the class.
75.
$75, and then
There's a link in the chat.
link in the chat.
There we go.
So if you guys want to sign up, it is so worth it. Not everybody loves the Marty Michelle template method because it is exact cutting. It's not make it big and cut it down small like a lot of the creative grids or like the
Deb
Tucker trimmers.
Mm-hmm.
To me, sometimes doing it Marty Michelle way is a lot easier because it's just spot on the first time usually.
But it's nice to have
Options.
many options in your arsenal. There are times when I am not feeling very exact. And then it's nice to be able to do something and be able to cut it down.
Yes.
But if I'm feeling like I really want to be just right on, then all of the Marty and Me supplies really help do that. And it's nice to have something. Plus, if you're close on materials,
Yeah.
it will.
You can yes.
eke out a little bit extra rather than having to cut the extra 5/8 or 7/8 that you might not need to do in the other ones.
So my very favorite Marty Michelle template has probably got to be the 10-inch log cabin tool, which we're getting a crap ton of those in because that uses a layer cake. I've demoed it before. Maybe I should do it again. It's $10. It's cheap. There's a ton of patterns in there. It goes quickly. Y'all can't see it, but in that window, there's what I did, and it took me like no time at all to whip that log cabin quilt out. That's my favorite one. However, I also love the Creative Grids log cabin trimmer equally. Different uses because different ways because with the where's that cut loose, because Creative Grids works well with the cut loose patterns. These cut loose patterns are awesome. So I've got America the Beautiful up there. Y'all can't see it. I'm sorry.
You'll just have to come see us.
But it is easy. It is gorgeous. And every time somebody new comes in here and sees it, they're like, oh my gosh, that looks so difficult. Look at all those tiny pieces. And I just sit here and laugh because it was the easiest thing I've ever done, literally. And it looks so complicated. And that's what I love about Marty Michelle stuff too. And the Creative Grid stuff, it makes things that are complicated super easy. And it's like I always say, you go to the store, you buy a fancy cake, you put it on your own cake platter, and you take it in, and you're like, oh, look what I made. And everybody's like going, oh, wow, you're so awesome. I'm like, I know. Thanks.
Exactly.
But you and I know how easy it was. So.
But it's still fun, and knowing that you can break something down to the point where it can be easy.
Exactly.
That's and understand it. That's what I like is you look at something and go, oh, I don't know that I can figure that out. And then I remember Eileen taught me at the very beginning. She said, well, go up like this. And this is your block. If you can make that into your block, okay, I understand. So then you can picture it. Mm-hmm. And then once you get the pattern, then it explains how to assemble it. And part of my challenge that I like to do when I'm looking at patterns is to figure out, okay, could I put that together without the pattern? Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
You want to buy the pattern from It's So Tempting, and I will fall sewing.
Now, did I say it was a good idea to do it without the pattern? No. It's a mental challenge for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's just, well, and what it is, it's usually a comparison. Mm-hmm. Okay, how would I have put this together? Then you open it up and you read it, and you're like, oh, that way it's so much better.
That way it makes more sense.
But mine would have worked. It would have been a little bit harder, but So it's nice to be able to have that variety. And that's where the Deb Tucker, the Creative Grids, the
Marty Michelle,
all of these different ways come and play, and everybody has their own special techniques.
The Quilt in the Day, if you guys know the Quilt in the Day, Eleanor Burns, she's got a bunch of templates too. We have one over there for flying geese, large flying geese, and I jokingly said to the girls today, I'm like, I want somebody to come in, and I want them to show me how to use that sucker, and I'll give it to them for free, because I've never even tried it. I'm assuming it's fabulous, because, Eleanor Burns.
Exactly.
But, anyways, speaking of different techniques.
Okay. Look at these segues.
I know, right? It's beautiful. So you guys, basting is like finishing a quilt and getting it basted and put together. A lot of people will do pins or they'll do a running stitch or what have you. My favorite way of basting is spray basting. I learned that if you're going to spray baste, especially if you're going to use Elmer spray glue, which you should not, you should open a window because you might kill your chihuahua. No, I did not kill my chihuahua. But I should have opened a window.
That's why we did that here with a lot of windows open in the middle of winter. Little cold, a little high.
Top tip number one. But that was before, and we did not use Elmer's glue. We used a different kind of spray basting.
That was a different. Yeah.
That was until I found the Spray and Bond basting adhesive, which is like low odor. It's acid-free and colorless. So that's very good. It's just temporary. But the cool thing about this that I love is that it eliminates pinning, which you know how I hate to pin. And it won't gum up your needles. So you won't get those little boogers on your needles. Okay, guys? So this is Spray and Bond basting adhesive. You could sew right through it. It is the best stuff. So basting adhesive. And I've got more of these coming in because they are so awesome. And why I brought this up is because I saw on Facebook, and I tried to share it with you guys, but I don't know if I actually was able to because it said it had to be approved by somebody before I could share it. But it was done by Crystal Watson, and she is a fabric designer for Benartex. She's done our Black, White, and Bright line. Ours as if, we own it, but
we own this set.
This is hers, guys. This is her line. So Crystal Watson. And I saw her technique of how she does her spray basting. And I thought it was really cool. I mean, it was kind of like, well, duh. Makes sense. So what she does is she takes her top, her flimsy, as we like to call it, and she'll go outside and just put it like on a 6-foot folding table, and she'll spray the back side of that, okay, with this stuff all over. And then she's got a big old design wall. And if you guys have been in our classroom, we've got design wall where it's the batting up so that way stuff sticks to it. So she puts up her backing on that, pins it at the top, and then she, makes sure it's nice and smooth. And I'm assuming she put some of this on before she does that. Didn't show that. Then she puts her batting up, and she uses like one of these big rulers to help her smooth it out on the wall, okay? Then she'll put her top on. Now, I'm assuming with some of the spray basting, like sometimes glues will tell you spray it on, wait 30 seconds before you use it on anything else. Maybe that's what she's doing because she's doing it a little beforehand. But then she gets the top on and pins it at the top with a push pin, I'm sure. And then she just uses this guy to smooth it all out.
Plus, you've got gravity on your side.
Plus, you got gravity. And she's, got a little ladder she's using with her. It just makes so much sense. And then she's using this basting spray. I don't know if it's this specific one, but like I said, this one, it won't gum up your needles. So like I said, you're not going to get those little boogers on your needle. That's going to just like cause issues and get all gross. So it's just, I thought that technique was super cool. So if you guys have a design wall, a nice big one at home, and remember, you can create your own design wall. Just get like a king size piece of batting and pin it up there. Super easy.
You can even use it on, what was that foam that was
Foam,
for
insulation foam.
insulation foam from Lowe's or
The
somewhere.
pink stuff. Yeah.
Well, the one we had was blue.
Blue.
Not that it matters because you'll put something over it anyway. I've had some people use flannel, but a lot of people use the batting and
Cotton batting.
Cotton batting. Okay, and pin that on there. And if you can get a couple pieces going, you can have a big wall. It makes, and if you do the light ones,
Yeah.
you can move that around so it's
portable.
out of your way.
And like what we did is we had Dwayne, Steph's husband, he did some Hemosote, which is like a type of insulation for soundproofing a room. It's pretty light. It's thin. He used that, cut it, it's a 4x8 sheet, cut it into 2-foot wide strips, and then lined the walls with it. But before he did that, he actually wrapped it with the the Quilter's Dream batting that we have, which is nice and thin, cotton, beautiful. And our whole room is a design wall.
So he basically upholstered
Exactly.
the wall, which is really nice. Plus, the benefit is that if something happens with one of the pieces, you can take it down, redo that one little piece.
Right, just that 2-foot section.
And we're good to go.
Yeah.
So, anyway, speaking of different ways of doing different things, we also have some of the Quilter Select. This is the Free Fuse. We don't have the actual bottle.
Are we out?
We're out.
I should add it
So
to
I
the
add that to
order.
the list.
See, a couple of people who use the back of a vinyl tablecloth.
There you go.
Exactly. Yes, that too. So lots of options. But anyway, this Free Fuse is another way. And I think you said you found that you like this better with smaller quilts.
Yes. So
And this is ironing, and whatever you don't use, you can dump back in.
yes. So
And these are the refills.
Alex Anderson, so this gal right here, if y'all probably know who she is, she actually has a really good YouTube tutorial on how she does this with larger quilts. She gets a countertop involved, and she gets the ironing board involved. To me, that's too much. I'm kind of lazy. So,
We all know that. Okay, that works too. But that's a good way to show. It just goes back in.
So it's kind of like a salt and pepper shaker. Can't really see that. So anyways, and it's just these little granules. One thing that she did say to us is that you don't want to put a whole heck of a lot on in like a tiny area, because then you just make plastic.
Okay. So yeah, just little bits. And it can be pulled apart and re-adhered back
Yes.
together again. So it's just like the other
temporary.
basting. It's temporary. So you're good to go on that one too. So there's lots of options. I have yet to use this one just because I haven't made anything like that here, but everything I do ends up growing.
Creates a semi-permanent bond between most fabrics, battings, and textiles.
There you go.
And it vacuums up easily.
Yes.
So if you are worried about overspray with like one of these guys, which
Or you don't want to get high.
you will not get
Which you
high
don't
with
get high
this.
with this
This
one,
is a good one.
But if you don't want spray going on, this is a good way to avoid that spray, especially if you have asthma or anything else like that.
Oh, except for I don't like their first direction. Pre-wash all materials. I disagree.
It may or may not happen. Okay.
Oh, what else? What
So,
time is it?
how are we doing?
7:14. So you
Okay.
guys, do you want to talk about this coming up in
We can
September?
do it. So in the register, the country register,
Which we're out of food.
we ran out of food, so there's no food today.
And
Eileen is sad.
I was going to make those amazing chocolate chip cookies, but I didn't have the recipe with me. Steph did send it to my phone, so now I have it. So maybe I'll make those next week.
Well, and I happened to make them for my daughter's boyfriend's birthday, but
Tori!
he but when I made them, one thing I would say is don't melt the butter. Soften the butter.
Does it tell you to
Because-
melt it?
It tells you to soften the butter, but
not
I
melt
just threw it in the microwave and went to do something else. So mine melted. And if you melt it, they'd ask you to do it with a third of a cup. It's either a quarter or I think it's a third of a cup. So you're making big cookies. Well, if you do it with melted butter, they're this big. We got 8 cookies per sheet.
So I will tell you that
They were huge.
last year when we made them, which they were so good, my sister Amy was in town when we made them. And I honestly think it was because of her. Because she's the amazing cookie maker. And she makes...
So you'll take the recipe with you?
I will when I go out to visit here in a few weeks, which I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks in September. So you guys will have to miss me. And I think between Steph and Megan and maybe Miss Darla, you'll have Facebook Lives together.
I think that's the plan.
Awesome.
And Megan's in charge of tech. Darla's in charge of being you over here. And which means you have to have everything ready when I get here because I'm going to walk in the same way. And I still get to be me. So good luck with that.
So Amy, if you're watching, which I don't think you are, because I don't think Amy ever watches.
But now that we're calling her names and putting her on there.
Amy Alexandria.
Anyway, Eileen will probably tune in and make a few comments every now and then.
I probably will.
Because, it is the weirdest thing. You've never had to do that because we've always just canceled if you weren't here. But when I was home and I was in my COVID state and had to comment and come in.
People didn't know that that's why you were out.
No.
Because I didn't want to share that with the world.
Well, now that it's been several months, it's okay.
Confidentiality,
exactly,
HIPAA,
it's a whole HIPAA.
all that kind of thing.
But
the pharmacy does not ever leave the girl.
No.
So.
No. Well, and that's probably better, but when I was home because of that, I felt so left out. I was like, I just want to make comments. My little comments every now and then. And then, but it made me realize what it's like on the other side. It's like, oh, I made a comment. Did they say my name? Oh, did they? Because it's really nice when we're able to say
Are we commenting on people's things?
Megan's doing the commenting. I really haven't made a whole lot of things. But Shelley wants a design wall as big as ours. So, ergonomic cutters for Michelle. Okay, so anyway, our country register, back to where we were before we keep you guys for too long. Des Moines Area Quilt Show, September 22nd, 23rd, 24th. That is going to be big, and we are going to be there.
When we say we mean Denise and one of us.
Denise and her person.
Because that's about when I'm going to be coming back, and so hopefully, flights aren't delayed or,
Yeah.
You never know nowadays.
But anyway, it is going to be the largest quilt show in Iowa. It is at the Des Moines area, or from the Des Moines Area Quilters Guild at the 4-H building in Iowa State Fairgrounds in Des Moines. Which,
Keep going.
I was just going to say, that was one of the first quilt shows I ever went to right before we opened up.
Did I go?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I did go.
Because we made comments about the fact that they have all the different counties have blocks.
Oh, that's right.
Going around the building.
I forgot about that.
Because I thought
the tile thing.
Yeah, and I think did we drag Tori?
No.
Or was it just the two of us?
I think it was just us.
But anyway, we just think in 4 years, we have gone from gawking watchers
to participants.
To actual participants.
And when we say we mean Denise.
Yeah.
Who's done this before.
But we get to hold her hand and be part of it. So anyway, we're looking forward to that. And so we're going to have our own little place, and they're going to have dozens of vendors and over 600 quilts to see that are on display. And I remember thinking that was where I first saw Tony's work.
Oh, Tony from
Tony from
Winterset. Yes, Mr. Tony Jacobson. If
made
you're watching us.
And it looked like it was all bloodshot and everything.
Right. We sent that to Chrissy.
And we sent it to my sister's the optometrist. So we sent it to her, and she's like, offended. My eyes hurt just thinking about it.
She was offended by it, but it was fun.
So anyway, but that was our fun. So anyway, just put that down on your calendars for the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Show hours are from 9 to 6 on Thursday and Friday, and 9 to 5 on Saturday.
$8 is the $8 advance and $10 at the door. So bring your cash with you.
And children under 12 are free, but remember, you're going to have to hold their little hands and keep them from touching everything because they don't want your quilts touched.
There are signs that say, please do not touch the quilt, and I always want to go and touch it. I'm a very tactile person.
Yeah, well, and I think most quilters are, so I'm sure a lot of us are going, but if you're the kind of person who wants to go all 3 days, there is a $20 pass for all 3 days.
Okay. So is there a fast pass like at Disneyland or whatever they call it?
I don't think so. So, but anyway, if you want to go for more information, you can go to www.dmaqg for Des Moines Area
Quilters Guild.
.org. So www.dmaqg.org.
Or follow them on Facebook. Stalk them on Facebook.
Anyway, and they will have free demos and lectures going on, and I remember sitting through a couple of those, and it was sort of interesting because that was really my first initiation.
Pork tenderloin we got?
Oh my gosh, that is like a 2-for-1.
I've never had pork tenderloin, and I don't plan on it.
That's okay. You can't have your corn on the cob either, right?
I don't like corn on the cob.
She's an import, guys. Just remember that.
Sorry.
There's only so much I can do with her. So,
However,
she is a fan of Scandinavian food.
I will eat the kringla.
Yes.
And I will eat it all.
We introduced that to her in her first or second day here, and she's been a fan ever since.
Made with Love Bakery is what this bakery, and you can get this at Slim's.
These are at Slim's, yeah. And they have noodles made with beet juice, so I had to try those too. So Slim's is a good place. They're awesome.
Is that it?
I think we think we've managed to hit most things today.
This was Darla's favorite 3-yard quilts. I gotta show this because this is
the quilt again.
Yeah. So you guys have seen this quilt before, but it's cool. So 3 fabrics, a yard each, and you get it from this little book called Quilts in a Jiffy, 3-yard quilt. And there's actually a Christmas one that's coming out that I've ordered for Iowa Falls and will probably bring it here as well. And it's a super cute one. It's got like Christmas tree, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an amazing set of books. We try to carry all of them because how easy is it to pick out
3 fabrics?
3 fabrics that go together. Very simple.
Well, and another reason you choose the 3 fabrics is if you do pillows. And actually, my favorite thing tonight was
that's right.
All of Ryan Smiles pillows. Right now, they are needing pillowcases. I shouldn't say pillows. Pillowcases. They are needing pillowcases for like older boys and toddlers. And so some of the fabrics we chose just because it's what we have that might go well for boys. Not that this is... Okay, you're done.
2 strikes, you're out.
So
this is just kind of some stem. This is just more geared towards, girls could love it too. I love it. So
yeah, it's not that but so many of fabrics are made for girls that it's nice to have fabrics that can be done for boys also.
Some bicycles, different colors, just some fun ones.
And of course, cars.
So, boys in their cars.
And of course, last but not least, you've got your traditional colleges for your support. So anyway, any of these would be great, especially for the middle to teen.
So you guys, if you don't know what Ryan's Case for Smiles is, these are pillowcases that are made for children who are in the hospital, either terminally ill or that are, going through chemotherapy or some other treatments that they're extended stays in the hospital. And it's to help really kind of just brighten up their room, make a little bit of sunshine as they're going through, and they get to keep these pillowcases. So that's why, like Steph was saying, they're really looking for the boy stuff, and we're looking at age range from really infant all the way up to teenagers, so 18 years old.
And they have a lot of the girls, not that you can't do things for girls still, but there's just so many that are boys that, they don't really want the flowers or things like that.
Right.
So just think of that when you're doing it, even if you do some solid colors with a little strip of something. And most of the patterns, they do want the French seams. The other thing to remember is we have just a little bit of sale fabric up in Iowa Falls still. where there's some good prices. If you want to just go up, buy a couple of yards, mix it up and match it, you can get, it takes a yard of fabric for
I think last
one pillow.
Quilt Club, Sue and Linda were up there, and they were getting a whole bunch of, like, just a yard of each thing to make pillowcases. I think I remember that's what they're doing with it. So it's very...
Michelle would like to know if there's a specific pattern.
So we do have some simple patterns here. We have one that you actually wrote up that we could print out.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, if you guys go to YouTube and Google the burrito method of making a pillow, it walks you through the how to do it, the French seams, everything. And you have to remember this is going to get washed a lot. So you want to be sure that you probably actually do want to pre-wash your fabrics before you do this guy. Mm-hmm. Then after you finished it, wash it again before you take it in to have it delivered. And you can bring it to us here. We have a gal that comes and picks it up once a month.
And if you go through our old shows, I did do one.
Maybe we should reprise that and have you do that again. Could you do that next show? Or while I'm gone?
If I can find it.
Or while I'm gone?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I think we've got it on there, on the computer.
Okay. So. Well, I mean, we had the pieces down here. I don't know, because we did Hungry Caterpillar fabrics. I don't know if those got made up or what happens. So we'll look. Anyway, but yeah, we can go. Maybe we can come up and we can make some.
Yeah, there we go.
So, and if you want to do a class, I can easily teach you. We can do this as a class. Just spend time making them.
Yeah,
as much as we
So
want.
class/workshop.
Yeah, just vote in. Tell us what you think. If you want a class.
Speaking of sweating, we actually got our AC fixed, you guys. So it was beautiful today. Darla said she walked in. It was a lovely 74 degrees in here, and it has stayed a lovely 74 degrees. It's very comfortable. So thank you to who came in and did it for us?
Heating and Plumbing. And it was Wyatt Orger who came in. And I have to admit, I did not know it was Wyatt, and he graduated with my daughter. When they start getting 21 and all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, you grew into a nice human. It's always nice to see that. Not that they weren't in high school, but there's a big growing difference between
maturity level.
Yeah. It was just nice to see him and see him doing good things, and especially seeing him help us.
Yeah. So
because we needed it.
Very, very happy. So,
yes.
All right, you guys, I think that's it for tonight. If you have any questions, let us know.
You have a sticky note about Labor Day.
Oh, thank you. So Labor Day is coming up a week from this Monday, and we will be closed here, but in Iowa Falls we will be open. And remember, we're open 9 to 2, so not all day long, our normal hours, but also in Iowa Falls they're having that car show that happens annually, and it's a big deal. It's really cool. Dwayne is going to have his really cool red truck out there, so you guys...
It's a 432. If you look for the license plate, it's 4 for Fournier, and then it's a 32.
Yeah, so it's going to be really cool. You guys need to come, if not, come see us at Iowa Falls, because we've got awesome stuff there, but come to Iowa Falls for the car show, because you will enjoy it.
And if you stop in, because if you want a place that's out of the sun,
right,
we will be that place.
We will be that place. So.
At least until 2. And I'll be there, probably off and off helping.
Yeah. So we will be closed here and open at Iowa Falls, 9 to 2 on Labor Day. I always get Labor Day and Memorial Day mixed up in my brain.
That's okay.
I have to stop and think about it.
I get Leaning Tower of Pisa and Eiffel
Tower mixed up.
Yeah. It's just weird.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with the best quilt shop owners here in Story City and Iowa Falls.
We'll see you next week. Same so time, same so place.
Bye, guys.
Bye.